out last week how Abraham Lincoln became president in 1860 thanks in part to a shrewd vice presidential pick. Time to find out what happened when Mr. Lincoln ran for re-election 4 years later. Here's Robin Hamilton live from Washington, D.C. Robin.
Laura, when Republican President Abraham Lincoln ran for re-election in 1864, he chose as his vice president a Democrat. Now, Democrats weary of the Civil War had nominated General George McClellan because of his promise of stopping the war immediately. An abolitionist in Lincoln's Republican Party who felt the president had not gone far enough to end slavery in his own party had formed their own party and nominated the popular John C. Fremont. Now, the remaining Republicans who supported Lincoln reached out to Democrats who felt the war had to be won, the so-called War Democrats. And together they created a new political party called the National Union Party. Now, Lincoln was their presidential nominee. Now, Lincoln felt he had little chance of re-election, but when a backroom deal got John C. Fremont to quit the race, the National Union Party dumped Lincoln's VP, Hannibal Hamlin of Maine, and replaced him with War Democrat Andrew Johnson as his running mate. Now, Johnson was a 5-time congressman from Tennessee and a 2-time governor. And when the Civil War broke out and the southern states left the Union, including Tennessee, Johnson was the only senator from a southern state who did not abandon his Senate seat. Instead, he introduced a resolution declaring the Civil War that it was not a war of northern aggression, but rather a defense of the Union. And Johnson took this position despite the fact that he thought slavery was protected by the Constitution. Including Johnson on the ticket then helped Lincoln prepare the country for a reconciliation between the victorious North and the defeated South. The Lincoln-Johnson National Union Party ticket won every state with 2 exceptions: McClellan's home state of New Jersey and Johnson's home state of Tennessee. But the country has never really got to see what kind of Vice President Johnson would be. Only 6 weeks after his inauguration, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, and Andrew Johnson became the 17th President of the United States. Live in D.C. with your D.C. Connection, I'm Robin Hamilton. Back to you.
Thanks, Robin. And since this is July 4th, we should point out that Abraham Lincoln's first vice president, Hannibal Hamlin, died on this day in 1891. He is one of 3 vice presidents to pass away on Independence Day. Former VPs and presidents John Adams and Thomas Jefferson also died on the 4th. In fact, Adams and Jefferson died within hours of each other on July 4th, 1826.